All right, welcome to our next episode of Flip Video. Today we're going to be discussing Emily Dickinson, the Belle of Amherst. Here's a lovely picture of Miss Dickinson, looking good, looking her finest. So she was born on December 10th, 1830, to a very prominent family in Amherst, Massachusetts. She was the second child to Elizabeth and Edward Dickinson, and the granddaughter to Samuel Fowler, one of the founders of Amherst College and builder of the National Historic Landmark, the Homestead, Emily's home. She had an older brother named William Austin and a younger sister, Lavinia, who they called Vinnie. When she was old enough, Emily attended Amherst Academy from 1840 to 1847. She left for Mount Holyoke Female Seminary at the age of 17 and returned home 10 months later of homesickness or illness, or her refusal to publicly renounce her faith. At home, Emily really just took care of her parents and all of their needs. She begged for them, did the housewife duties, ventured out to attend local events in the budding college town, and was an avid gardener. And she's gone. In 1865, which would be her last venture from Amherst, she became known as the Myth because she was rarely seen. She also became known as the Lady in White because she was always wearing white when she was seen. As early as 1867, she began to talk to her visitors from behind closed doors. But despite her seclusion, Emily was socially active and expressive through her letters and poems. Though she avoided visitors, she would often write them poems or give them small parting gifts. In 1874, her father suffered a stroke and died. She only opened her door a crack for the funeral and did not attend memorial services. A year later, her mother also suffered a stroke and was left in bad physical condition and mental state. Around this time, Emily stopped going out in public, but still had visitors and wrote to close friends. On May 15, 1886, Emily died at the very young age of 55 of Bright's disease. Her coffin was carried through daffodils, and Higginson, a colleague of hers, read "No Coward Soul Is Mine" by Emily Bront, Emily's favorite poem. She was buried at West Cemetery on Triangle Street in Amherst. Emily Dickinson is considered one of the most original poets of the 19th century, placed along such poets as Walt Whitman, which we studied yesterday, and Robert Frost, a powerful and persistent figure in American culture, and she was heralded as the greatest woman poet in the English language. Emily is known for unconventional broken rhyming meter, which you learned about a little bit in the previous flip video. This can be seen as rhythm, the use of dashes, as you'll see in the following poem, random capitalization, use of metaphor, varied line lengths, no titles, and various genres. A little fact about our poems: all of our poems are numbered because they don't have titles, but often we as literature folk will take the first line of her poems and use that as the title, as you'll see coming up. So here in this poem's number is 269, but is often referred to as Wild Nights, Wild Nights. So I'll read this through and we'll kind of just break this down together here. Wild nights, were I with thee, wild nights should be our luxury. Futile the winds to a heart in port, done with the compass, done with the chart. Rowing in Eden, ah, the sea, might I but moor tonight in thee. So we'll break this down stanza by stanza. And so the speaker of the poem in the first stanza is talking about an intimate evening with a lover and how these nights must be relished, right? She refers to these nights as a luxury, and it's really important to her that these nights are kept sacred, right? Dickinson moves on to stanza 2 here and begins to create a metaphor using a ship as her catalyst. She kind of talks about a sailboat does not need winds if it's not out on the ocean, right? Thus, the speaker does not need a compass or chart, i.e. map here. And she continues to explain that because she is no longer sailing, going with a lover topic, the speaker is the sailboat and does not need to continue to travel because she has found all that she needs in this lover. We're moving on to the third and final stanza. She talks about the rowing in Eden, and we can compare that to reaching the promised land. And then when she says, the sea, she's kind of reflecting, she's making a reflection of the speaker's previous life, single on the open sea, searching for a place to dock, searching for a lover, right? The dock and the lover, or the dock is a metaphor for the lover. And finally she ends, might I, but more tonight in thee. The speaker is rejoicing, as noted by the exclamation point, at the thought of being secured by the lover, right? And so we can identify the topic of this poem as love and lust. And then we can identify the theme as love provides safety and can be seen as the ultimate goal of the journey, right? And so I get that journey from, her metaphor with the ship and sailing and whatnot. So that's it for our video. Tonight you will need to read the Emily Dickinson poems. So if you look to your right, and under the reading section, you'll see Emily Dickinson poems. Make sure you take the quiz after this video, and enjoy your evenings. We'll see you tomorrow.